Hey, this is C&D channel. I'm Chris. This is MMA for you. I'm going to do my predictions for Bellator 81, which happens tomorrow, November 16th on MPV2. The card's not too great, to be perfectly honest with you. Prelims, I mean, they have a couple undefeated fighters here. A lot of guys with less than 10 fights, though, on the prelims. I want to say almost every prelim fighter. No, not Matt Bissett. Has less than 10 fights or less. Main card, I mean, you do have the lightweight tournament semifinals. I think they really wanted to push our Sarnovsky to this lightweight final, and instead, I mean, like, the best guy to win it, really, Dave Jansen's up there, and I like Dave Jansen. Formerly fought in WEC. Tirloni, that is my favorite to win it. But yeah, I can't be super excited about this card, to be perfectly honest with you. Let's get started. We got Rich No Love Clementi fighting Marcin. Clementi won his last fight against Sarnovsky. He constantly took his back, and in the third round he kind of faded. Sarnovsky definitely had the better stand-up. Clementi had the better ground game. This fight is actually kind of hard for me to call because Marcin, he's not a great takedown guy. I mean, the way he gets fights to the ground is he'll like pull guard for a leg lock. I've always found him to be small for the weight class. He showed improved striking in his last fight, but he's also showed some not so good cardio as well. But he's only 20 years old, so his Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, all in all, is pretty strong. Rich Clementi, veteran, very experienced guy, 40 wins, 21 losses, and 1 draw. Fought in the UFC for a while, actually. He's always had some pretty good wrestling, good Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I think what always, with Clementi, though, he's always been a really crafty fighter. Like I said, though, kind of hard for me to call. You definitely have a youth versus experience thing here, and we kind of saw that turn down in last time. Experience won out. This time, I'll go with Marcin to win this one. He's coming off a 4-fight win streak here. He does have the good Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. He has shown some improved striking, but I can easily see Rich Clementi getting the upset. I don't even know if it's the upset. I haven't actually seen the betting line, so I don't really know if it's the upset or not. But I can definitely see Rich Clementi getting the win here. But I'll go with Marcin. I think, because Clementi doesn't have like the best striking either. That's the thing. I kind of see striking as a bit even. On the ground, it's really tough to say. Like I said, Clementi's really crafty. Marcin really good, especially with those leg locks. And the scramble, he's pretty good too. So yeah, I'll go with Held to win that one. Okay, next fight after that, Dave Jansen fights Ricardo Tirloni. I've been impressed with Jansen's Bellator, tenure so far. He's on a 4-fight win streak. 17-2 record, 1 win by TKO and 10 wins by sub. He's 33 years old. Trains at the Sports Lab, and he's a guy who's always been a good wrestler, really good guillotine. He can grind if he wants to. He's always had good top control, and his BJJ is pretty solid. With Tirloni, his only 2 losses. He's 15-2 with his only 2 losses being to Rick Hahn by knockout and Benson Smooth Henderson. He got guillotined, if I'm not mistaken. And I think he was actually winning the fight up until then. 5 of those wins are by KO or TKO. 8 wins by sub. He's 29 years old. some very strong Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Stand-up's good. He can get. I think Tirloni's problem has always been he can be a bit reckless. Despite that, I can see Jansen actually winning this fight with his superior wrestling and top control. You know, I don't think that's gonna happen though. I think Tirloni can do well off his back. Hopefully, create scrambles, get back to his feet. So I am gonna go with Ricardo Tirloni to win this one. I think he's probably a favorite to win the whole thing. Once again, it's another case of like I really wouldn't be surprised if Jansen just uses his wrestling and gets top control to win this fight. It wouldn't surprise me, but I do have Tirloni winning this one. Okay, next one after that, it's one of these. Bellator's been doing this a lot. You know, they have the tournament bouts and then they have these showcase fights. So you have Ultimate Fighter back at Ultimate Fighter, and actually he's a UFC veteran, Dustin Neace fighting Marlon Sandro. Neace 23-18-1 record, 5 wins by KO TKO, 18 wins by sub. He also has 12 losses by submission. He's 26 years old and coming off a 2-fight losing streak. I kind of remember him fighting Akira Kurosani, getting a leg lock, Kurosani doing like a phantom tap, and then Kurosani ending up winning. Marlon Sandro, 22-4 record. 7 of those wins are by KO or TKO, 5 wins by 7. He is 35. Trains at Nova União. Stand-up's always been solid. I've always liked it, especially his uppercuts. His in game, to me, inside game has always been better than his outside game, in my opinion. His Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, he's a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt. He doesn't always get to show it. The times he has, you know, he's shown very capable on the ground. And I think if the fight hits the ground, you know, I think he'll do well against Dustin Neace, to be perfectly honest with you, if it even hits the ground. I see Marlon Sandro just outstriking Neace. I think he'll be able to defend any takedowns from Neace as well. And even if it gets to the ground, I think he can do pretty well down there. I got Marlon Sandro winning this one. Honestly, looks like a showcase fight for Marlon Sandro. And it's something that Bellator has been doing this season for a while, where they get like a very obvious favorite and try and get him in the fight. A good fight, but a fight that'd probably get him a highlight reel finish. So, I got Marlon Sandro to win this one. The next fight that really isn't a showcase fight is Jonas Billstein fights Perry Filkins. Perry Filkins, 6-1 record. All 6 of those wins are by KO or TKO. He trains at Billstein. He's coming off a 4-fight win streak, and his last 3 fights were first round TKO stoppages. And actually his 4th fight, was actually a stoppage in round 2. Jonas Billstein, only 21 years old. I believe he's German. 10-2 record, 7 wins by KO or TKO, 2 wins by sub. Won his last fight against Mike Seal, I believe, by rear naked choke, if I'm not mistaken. Before that, he lost his last fight to Herbert Goodman because he illegally soccer kicked a guy. There's only like real losses to LeVay. I gotta go with Jonas Billstein to win this one. Filkins, though, this guy definitely has some power in his strikes, and he could win by TKO, KO or TKO. Tough guy. Trains at a good team with Militage. But I'll go with Billstein to win this one. Okay, on to the prelims, which is on Spike. I'm gonna be honest. There's a lot of these guys I'm not familiar with, so I'm just gonna run right through it. Robbie Leroy fights Ruben Ray. Ray has a 5-4 record. All 5 of his wins are by KO or TKO. He has 3 losses by sub, and they're all by rear naked choke. With his other loss being a decision loss. He's 29 years old on a 3-fight losing streak. Robbie Leroy, 4-1 record, 1 win by TKO, 1 win by sub, 2-fight win streak. Rule of thumb, I generally don't pick guys on really bad losing streaks, especially against a guy on a good winning streak. And actually, I've had mixed results with that rule of thumb, to be perfectly honest with you, because you're talking about a guy who only has 5 fights versus a guy who has like 9 fights. You know, both, one guy's not really that proven. But nonetheless, I go with Robbie Leroy to win this one. Okay, next fight after that, you got some guys that are kind of similar in a sense. You have Paul Barrow versus Matt Bissett. Barrow, 5-2 record, 1 win by TKO, 2 wins by sub. He's only 27. He's trading wins and losses. It's like win-loss, win-loss, win, I think. Matt Bissett, 9-4 record, 1 win by TKO, 4 wins by sub. Also trading wins and losses. Very similarly, win-loss, win-loss, win. I'm kind of a pick and fight for me in a way. I'll go with Paul Barrow to win this one. Next fight after that, once again, very similar guys here. As both these guys have 4-0 undefeated records. Sam McCoy fights Brennan Ward. Oh, and by the way, I'm getting these this fight card from the Bellator.com website. Okay, both guys are 4-0. Ironically, though, Sam McCoy has 3 wins by sub and 1 win by decision. He's 31 and trains at American Top Team. With Brennan Ward, 4-0. 3 wins by KO or TKO, not by sub. 1 win by decision. I'll go with Sam McCoy to win this one. Next fight after that, we got Dan Kramer versus Joe Lamoureux. Lamoureux. I can't really know how to pronounce his last name. But with Joe, 3-1 record, 1 win by TK, 1 win by sub, 3-fight win streak. Interesting, he's fighting a guy like Kramer, who has an 8-3 record. He's been fighting Bellator for a while, and he's fighting the UFC as well. 1 win by TKO, 7 wins by decision. He's definitely a grinder. I mean, I've always found him to be a grinder ever since, like, I think even as like Matt Arroyo, fight against Matt Arroyo and like the Ultimate Fight or in the UFC. But with Kramer, 27 years old, trains American Top Team. He's always had some good wrestling, some good top control. I'll go with Dan Kramer to win this one. Okay, next fight after that, Andrew Calandrelli fights Eric Brown. Kind of a pick 'em fight for me as well. Eric Brown, 3-2 record, 1 win by KO, 2 wins by sub. He also has 2 losses by KO or TKO, and he's 29. With Calandrelli, 5-3 record, 3 wins by sub, 2 wins by decision. I'll go with Andrew Calandrelli to win this one. Okay, next fight after that, we have Mike Musatelli versus Matt Undi. This fight, actually, the cool thing is, this one guy who was actually like charged for murdering like this young kid, Dan McWayne. He was actually supposed to fight Mike Musatelli. Thankfully, Bellator took him off the card. If you ever read the report, it's pretty horrific about what this guy did. So I'm glad that Bellator took this guy off the card and replaced him with Matt Udy as and now Matt Udy fights Mike Musatelli. I've seen Udy actually fought. He fought in Titan, if I'm not mistaken. 3-1 record, 1 TKO, 1 win by TKO, 2 wins by sub. With Mike Musatelli, he has a 3-0 undefeated record, 1 TKO, 2 wins by sub. Also, he's 28. Kind of tough for me to call. I'll go with Mike Musatelli to win this one. And finally, Murad Makiev fights Laurent T. Nelson. It's actually a pretty good fight for the undercard. As Nelson, he's 6-1 record, 4 wins by KO or TKO, 2 wins by sub. He is a finisher. He's on a 2-fight winning streak, and he trains at Grudge. With Murad, his 9-1 record, 2 wins by KO or TKO, 5 wins by sub, and he's 25. Kind of tough for me to go, but I'll go with Murad Makhachev to win this one. And that's pretty much it for my Bellator 81 predictions. If you have any comments, just leave them below. And that's it for MMA for you. Thank you guys very much.